Welcome to Supply Demand Zone Top-Down Analysis Strategy Builder. I am Pratap here. Let us generate monthly income trade and weekly income trade bullish and bearish trade setups based on end of the day data on 1st February 2024. For MIT trade, that is monthly income trade, the LTF time frame is daily. So that is the reason why my entry time frame is daily. Because we are generating any filters, the filter should be based on the demand zone. Because we are going to generate bullish trade setup. For MIT trades, bullish trade setup. So that is the reason why in the field bullish or bearish trade setup, let us go to the daily time frame. In the daily time frame, I am selecting bullish. That indicates we are going to generate bullish trade setup for daily time frame, and the zones that should be displayed on the reports are daily time frame. Whichever the time frame you are selecting, those demand and supply zone reports will be displayed on the screen. But which time frame you want to generate the bullish trade setup for LTF, that is on daily time frame. So mostly this time frame and your entry time frame should match. Otherwise, the reports will be displayed for some other time frame. So that is the reason why we should remember whichever the bullish trade setup you want to generate, the LTF time frame and your entry time frame should match. And if at all any filters I want to select, the filter should be based on the demand zone. This I will explain later. Now let us generate the stocks. This is MIT stocks. That is as per monthly income trade, but LTF time frame is daily. We are selecting bullish trade setup. So let me click on this top-down strategy button. See the number of stocks it is displayed, over 90 plus stocks. Let me scroll down. Any stock you want to refer, you can pause the video. The total 95 stocks are filtered. But is it practical to study all these 95 stocks and finding a stock that you really want? So it is not practical. So for that, what you have to do, see if the list is maybe 5 stocks or 10 stocks or maximum 15 stocks, at least we can study. But studying 95 stocks is not at all practical. So that is the reason why let us add some filters. And mostly your favorite filter is always you want fresh zones. Which zone? Demand zones. Because your entry zone is demand zone. You want fresh demand zones. Because see, some of these demand zones are tested. Some of these demand zones are pierced. You don't want all them. You want a fresh demand zone. If it is a fresh zone, obviously the pierced count should be 0. So that is the reason why I am going back to the strategy builder. Then I scroll down to the up to the parameter test count. See here, we have a parameter test count at the bottom. In this test count parameter, which time frame you want to fresh zones? Our entry time frame is daily. So here I am setting the minimum value as 0 and maximum value as 0. That means the value should be 0. The test count 0 indicates it is a fresh zone. Now let me go on the filter. So now the stocks are reduced, but still it is a big list. Let me scroll down for our reference purpose. All these are all fresh demand zones. See, 63 stocks are filtered. And one point I forgot to tell you, the dark green color. The demand zone having dark green color compared to the other demand zone. The dark color indicates all-time high demand zone. You should not forget. They won't be having supply zones. There are many all-time high stocks are there. That's why majority of the stocks are having only demand zones. Now from 95, the list is come down to 63. Still 63 is a big list. It is difficult for us to study all these 63 parameters. Okay, for that, what is the best parameter you have to look for? Because why you are doing all these stocks, why we are going for to get better profits. There should be a good profit margin. That means there should be a good reward should be there. What about risk? Risk at least you can manage by fine tuning the zone. But reward you cannot fine tune much. Risk you can fine tune. The moment you fine tune the risk, reward will be improved. It will be improved, but it is not a very drastic. But risk can be minimized. So that is the reason why I want to focus on the reward. The stocks are having good reward. How you calculate the reward? From a D to D range, distal line to distal line range indicates the reward. So that is the reason why I want the stocks having at least 5% reward, because it is a MIT trade. A minimum 5% should be there between demand zone to the supply zone, or between demand zone to the all-time high. Such kind of stocks. And what is the advantage? Even if I get 3% profit, I can exit. Price, see, always I may not be waiting up to the supply zone or all-time high. If I feel there is a good profit, I will exit. I may buy a future or I may buy an option. Whatever it is, when there is a good reward, I need not wait until I get the complete reward. Sometimes I may exit if I feel that is good enough. So that is the reason why minimum 5% reward should be there. I don't want all these 63 stocks. I want out of these 63, whichever is having at least 5% reward. So that is the reason why I am going back and selecting the range, minimum range percent. This is a D to D range. This is D to D, distal line to distal line range. And daily time frame, I am selecting the value 5%. See, this is the reason why ranges are very, very important. So the moment I said 5, and let me click top-down strategy. See, now the list is reduced to 41 instead of 63. These are the first 22. And the next remaining stocks. So total 41 stocks are filtered. Still, 41 is a very big number. That is what we discussed. A maximum, some 10 stocks, or worst case 15 stocks are there. At least we can study them. But here all these stocks are fresh zones, fresh demand zones. And reward is also, see, all these demand zone rewards, a minimum 5% is there. Some are having even 10%, 11%. See here, one stock is having 49%. That is too much. Maybe it could have been crashed from the supply zone and reached. So that way we would have got a good big reward. But all these things are ideal cases, 9%, 7%, 8%. They are all the ideal scenarios. So all these stocks are having good reward. That means we will be having good RR also in these stocks. Definitely we have very good RR in majority of these stocks. But list is very big. If you have any favorite stocks in this list, this is the first 22. If you have any favorite stocks, you can select them. This is the remaining stocks. That way you can select. That way the list is useful. But still, what is missing? When you have a big list, how further we can fine tune? I mean, fine tune the, not the zone, fine tune the, the filters. So for that, I want to use a condition. I want at least 3% before the zone. For our demand zone, prices should be there at least 3% before that. When they are there 3% before, quickly we may get, maybe today or maybe tomorrow, the prices may reach. That way we have higher chances of taking an entry early. Generally in MIT trades, you have to wait for a long time to fetch the right stock. But if the stock is near to the zone, see, near to demand zone is always, that is a very strict algorithm, near to demand zone that we are listing every day. That is very strict. Majority of the stocks will be filtered but I don't want. I want at least 3% before. 3% before means maybe immediately the next trading day or maybe after one day. There are higher chances prices are getting into our zone and our trade will be triggered early instead of waiting for a long period. So that is the reason why we will go back to this supply demand zone top-down strategy builder. There we have a parameter called maximum price percent. Look into this at the bottom, close to the bottom. The maximum price percent to reach the zone. That means before the zone, what is the percentage you are looking for? So if I set in the daily time frame, if I set 3% means all the stocks within the 3% range, within the 3%. Some stocks could be within 2.5%, some stocks could be within 2%, they all will be listed. Above 3%, 3.1, 3.2, all the stocks won't be displayed to you. So let us filter. If we get a very small list, we will increase to 4% or 3.5. We got 6 stocks. If you feel this list is too small, again go back and increase. Instead of 3, make it 4. Now 12 stocks we got. Even if you want more, make it 5%, before 5% stocks. See, our D2D range itself 5%. "19 stocks are filtered. Out of these 19, only 3 stocks are having demand and supply zones. Remaining all are all-time high stocks. Now from this list, you look for your favorite stocks. Already I shown you near 3%, near 4%, maximum 5%. Up to this is the 5%. Any list you can refer. You have the flexibility in this software. So you can generate whatever the way you want, that kind of zones you can generate. So now it is up to you to study these zones and finalize your trades. All these are all bullish trade setup, and reward is having more than 5%, and current prices are near 5% level to current demand zone. Maybe the prices might be moving towards the demand zone or maybe moving towards the supply zone. That is a different thing. But from the demand zone, prices are at 5% level are there. So that kind of stocks, all these are all supporting bullish trade setup at this point of time. So you see, sometimes if conditions change, again the nature of the stocks also will be changed. The zones will be changed. At this point of time, all these 19 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup. And which filter we are using? Always you can read the filter here in the search strategy. See here, our entry zone is a demand zone because it is a bullish trade setup. And what kind of bullish trade setup? It is a daily bullish trade setup. Daily equal to bullish. If you select bearish, you will be seeing a daily equal to bearish. And what is the range? Greater than or equal to 5%. Range should be there. And see the zone test, that is freshness. Zone test indicates the zone freshness is there or not. If it is 0, 0, it is a fresh zone. And the max price percent to reach the zone is less than or equal to 5%. Within 5% level, from the zone, whatever the stocks are there, those stocks are listed in this report. Why we used such big search criteria? Because we got a very big list. We got 95 stocks, it is displayed earlier. From there, we filtered and come down to 19 stocks. Now, this list will be useful for you for your further study or analysis. If you feel this is a big, go back to the previous slide. Then the previous slide, I have shown you. Previous slide means the previous screen. Less than or equal to 4%. Even previous to that, I have shown you less than or equal to 3%. So select the stocks from that list if you feel this is a big list. Okay. Now, this is about bullish trade setup for daily. Now, we will generate a bearish trade setup. So, daily time frame for any filters, we will use supply zones should be applied. The reason is we are looking for bearish trade setup, and for daily time frame selecting bearish. The trade setup I am selecting bearish. Now I am not adding any further filters. If the list is big, we will add. If the list is small, there is no meaning in adding. You can directly understand from the report. Let me click on the top-down strategy. Only 2 stocks are filtered. Supply zones. These are all supporting bearish trade setup. Here one is a pierced supply zone, so we don't consider this zone. Pierced zones we don't trade. Always you have to monitor the column pierced. If you don't set any filters, always focus on this. But here this is not a fresh zone, already tested zone, this one. And moreover, this is not a high liquidity zone, normal zone only. Because it is already tested, do we need to consider that you have to take a decision by fine-tuning the zone up to 5 minutes level. But is it having good risk reward? No, it is a 1:1. See, even 1:1 not a problem. We can improve the reward by fine-tuning the zone. Or instead of taking the trade from demand zone to demand zone, maybe we may reduce to 75 minutes to 75 minutes zone. These techniques we can use. You already learned fine-tuning the zones. But at this point of time, both these stocks are not favorable for short trades. Because our basic criteria itself, they are not satisfying. But bullish trade setup you identified. Okay, what is the next option? Next option is WIT trades, weekly income trades. If you are a swing trader or positional trader, swing or positional, same. So you are looking for a medium-term investments. Because you are looking for medium-term investments, either you may select WIT trades or MIT trades. So MIT trades, we already generated the stocks. Now let us generate for WIT, weekly income trade setup. In weekly income trade, our entry time frame is 75 minutes. So that's why entry time frame I am selecting to 75 minutes. Because it is a bullish trade setup, any filters we set that should be applied to the demand zone. And in this bullish or bearish trade setup parameter, I have to select the 75 minutes time frame. Earlier we selected daily, now we are selecting 75 minutes bullish. That means your entry time frame should be 75 minutes and remaining time frames should be daily and weekly. Based on that, this algorithm will be generating the stocks. Now without setting any filters, let us generate how many stocks we are going to get. Let us see. This is bullish trade setup on 75 minutes time frame. That is weekly income trade. See, again, we got a big list. For the reference purpose, let me scroll down step by step. Anything you want to refer, pause the video. So 64 stocks are filtered for weekly income trade, bullish trade setup. So it is a very big list. So what is our first criteria? We want fresh zones. So let's go back. Because we want fresh zones, test count should be 0. So in this parameter, the last parameters here, test count, which time frame you have to set? 75 minutes time frame. Because it is a WIT trade setup. Entry time frame is 75 minutes. So I am setting the values as 0, 0. So let me click on this top-down strategy. Still you will have a big list. Let me scroll down. Now 36 stocks you got. Okay, still, what is the best option to filter? Reward. You want the stocks that should have a minimum reward. Because it is a WIT trade, at least we expect a minimum 3% reward. Below 3%, there are some 2% stocks are there. You want to eliminate some 0, 0 means generally you get 0% means both demand and supply zones are overlapped with each other. That means no reward at all. So all those things we want to eliminate at least below 3%. So that is the reason why let us go back to our strategy builder. And here reward. Reward means range. D to D range. Distal line to distal line range. So this is the parameter, minimum range percent. Which time frame? 75 minutes. So I am setting the value as 3%. At least 3% profit margin should be there. Let me click top-down strategy. Now the filter is reduced further. Still, there are good number of stocks are there. Now it's come down to 23. All these stocks are having a good reward is there. Most of the stocks. See here we have only 1:1 reward or close to 1:1. But still, if the risk is big, what you can do? Fine tune. Inside the zone, you can fine tune. Moreover, see, this is a high liquidity zone, a fresh zone. By fine tuning, you can minimize the risk and you can maximize the reward. That way, you can plan the trade. Your risk is not an issue. Reward is more important for us. Because risk we can fine tune. If already reward is good, after fine tune, even further better reward you get. Improved reward. But minimum initial reward should be great. Then fine tuning is additional whatever you are getting because of fine tuning, whatever the additional reward you are getting, that is a bonus to you. Okay, is there any further way to filter, or this 23 stocks is good enough? But let us see. Any nearest stocks are there. Immediately we can get trades. So for that, what you have to do? Maximum percentage to reach the zone. This is the last parameter, maximum price percent to reach the zone for 75 minutes. So let us set maybe the value as 3%. Now the list is reduced to only 10 stocks. So that means if the prices fell down to 3%, If the prices fell down to 3%, immediately you will get an entry in this zone. That is what the meaning of this parameter, max price percent to reach the zone. Maximum 3%, because some stocks may be 2% near to the zone, some stocks may be 1% near to the zone. If 1% fell down, they will reach. But this is the maximum. Now the list is reduced to 10. Out of this list, first two are indices. Now in the stocks you have 8 stocks are there. You can go through these stocks. Now it is easy for you to go through. There are few all-time high 75-minute zones also there. The dark color, green color indicates all-time high 75-minute zones. They don't have supply zones. So this is 75 minutes. That is a WIT, weekly income trade. Bullish trade setup stocks. Now we have to generate bearish trade setup for a weekly income trade. So entry time frame I am selecting to 75 minutes. If at all any filters, it should be applied to supply zone because it is a bearish trade setup. And in this parameter, bullish or bearish trade setup, I have to select the time frame 75 minutes. In the 75 minutes, I have to select the filter bearish. Now generate the stocks. 12 stocks are filtered. Now you don't require to set any filters. You can easily, but if at all if you want to set a filter, let us eliminate the pierced zones. You can find from that list, but anyway, I will further simplify by setting pierced count to 0, 0. The pierced count for supply zone, we are setting for supply zone. So the 75 minutes time frame, it is 0, 0. So the pierced count is 0 now. Now let me filter. Earlier 13, right? Now it's come down to 11. Now supply zones, the pierced count will be 0. Demand zone might be there, but supply zone. Our interest is on supply zones because that is our entry time frame. So this is the way we finally got 11 stocks. Now rest everything is available. If you want a good reward, look into the last column, reward. If you want less risk, look into the last but one column, risk. Even if the risk is high, you can fine tune. You know how to fine tune. We already learned fine tuning the zone in our recent training lessons with the help of zone confluence. I clearly explained in that zone confluence practical session how to fine tune in a much better way. So this is a bearish trade setup stocks for a weekly income trade. You have all the parameters go through. We have a zone violation trend, HTF, ITF, LTF not required, but still I have given. Even if LTF is also a downtrend, this is a more justification for you. You can give highest priority to this particular script. Anyway, ITF should be downtrend. HTF should be either down or sideways. If HTF is down, ITF is down, even LTF is also down, probably that is a super. See here, Z limited HTF is down, ITF is down, LTF is down, and see the prices here, price direction is also completely in our favor. Demand zone to supply zone prices moving. ITF also demand zone to supply zone, they are moving. And moreover, this zone is a high liquidity zone and also a fresh zone. So keep observing this stock. If prices are entering into this zone, immediately it's a good opportunity for you. You know, sometimes what happens, you won't get trade at all. A new supply zone will be created again. When there is any crash in that particular stock due to any reasons, it will keep on creating new supply zones and falling down. But during the process, sometimes what happens, price will reach the supply zone. Immediately we have to catch that particular stock. We should not miss it. So this is about stocks near, it is about WIT trades and MIT trade stocks for both bullish and bearish trade setups. So those who can't trade short-term income due to some restrictions, your time availability or any other reasons, or you are not comfortable with short-term trades setups, whatever the reason. So you can focus on these stocks, but you have to, patience should be there. You may not get trades immediately. See, if it is our stocks near demand and supply zones, daily at least one trade we are getting and getting good profit during intraday itself. Such kind of scenario may not happen in monthly income trades and weekly income trades. You need to wait for few days. Sometimes it may take even few weeks time also when prices enter into your demand zones. So that's why patience should be there. Once prices are entering, and if all our analysis, remaining analysis supports, what is the remaining analysis? You have to fine tune, you have to check the quality of the prices in that zone, because we know, I already explained when a zone will be violated. So that's why you should carefully fine tune the zone. Fine tuning is a very, very important technique. We already discussed in our last practical session in zone confluence. That's a very, very important session. If you did not properly attend, please go through, listen again carefully, learn the techniques. Even in some of the daily analysis videos also explained. There you find even more examples in daily analysis when a zone will be violated. Because I already bookmarked some of these, created in a playlist, NeoStock terminology playlist. Some videos I added there. So if you go through, you will understand why every day I am doing the analysis of the stocks. Maybe it may not be WIT or MIT setups, but still whatever I am explaining in everyday video, that knowledge is applicable to even WIT as well as MIT. Knowledge never changes. What is changing? Your time frame is changing. Only you are seeing the difference of the time frame. Remaining concepts are same. So that is the reason why in that analysis videos, whatever I am explaining the concepts, they are all applicable for even for MIT trades and WIT trades. Hope this information will be useful for you. So prepare your charts properly and analyze whatever the concepts you learned. Accordingly, you do your analysis and get ready and when the price is entering into that zone. So thank you all for attending this video. Let us all meet again in our next video. Have a good day.